Hey guys, and welcome to Prapor's 14th task, the Punisher Part 4. So for this one you need to kill 15 scavs on woods using a 12 gauge shotgun. And also you need to kill 15 PMCs on Shoreline where you're wearing a balaclava and a scav vest, as well as find 10 bars A2607 knives and hand them over to Prapor. The knives aren't found in raid, so you can buy these from the flea market. Okay, so for this one you need to get a 12 gauge shotgun. So to start off, you can either get, you can get any shotgun you want, the 133, the 125, the Sega and the M870. For this we're going to grab the 153, which is a skier. And then to put a sight onto the 153 and the 133, you need to get the SPRM mount for the shotguns. And I'll just grab the PK06. You can also get bigger mags by getting the larger barrels, these ones. And just remember to use slugs because they're basically sniper bullets with this type of gun. So this task can be quite a bit of a pain. Really what you need to do is, if you spawn on the east side, if you look at the map, what you want to do is hit up Scav House and then follow the walls past the ZB14. Sometimes some scavs can spawn inside this little woods, and then attachment cabin, heading over to checkpoint, and then head over to log piles. Now inside the actual lumberyard, that could be quite hectic as that's the center of the map. With the new Mosin tasks that the higher people will get for mechanic, there will be a lot of snipers on this map, so you need to make sure you don't sit in the spot for too long because you will get your head shot off. And then what you want to do is head down to the patrol scavs next to the car crash, the van that's like, crashed into the water, and then head up to Spine, or as some people call it, Lookout Rock, and then head towards Old Gas Station down in that general area, because scavs do spawn in the woods between Lookout Rock and the old station. Now if you spawned on the west side of the map, there is quite a huge varies of spawn locations, so really with this one you just gotta play it by ear and kind of follow your own path. I've kind of drawn a little map for you guys to try and follow if you can. But with this one, you just really need to head towards the lumberyard, try and get the scavs killed there. And as you spawned on the west side, the scav house and the scav cabin is quite, you do get quite a lot of scavs down there. But like I said before, you need to be very careful with the Mosins on this map, as there is a lot of snipers. Now, if you want to hit up this map on nighttime, it is highly recommended as well, because basically the scavs AI just goes to crap. It's literally, during the day it's like 200 IQ, during the night it goes down to 10, and you can literally walk up to them and punch them in the head with a hatchet if you want to do that. So this is the overview map of the scav spawns on woods. So now onto the second part of this task, which is where you need to wear a balaclava and a scav vest on Shoreline and kill 15 PMCs. If you don't know where to get this, you're quite surprised, but you need to go to Ragman Tier 1. You can get the balaclava for about 3k and the scav vest is about 5k. So there isn't really a guide out there on how to kill players. What I'm going to show you is some of the best spots to ambush players at the start of a raid. So of course you can head up to Resort and sit in front of the important rooms, like the high loot room. So let's say 310, 205, or on the red side it would be 216, basically the second corridor. But what I'm going to show you is how to ambush them before they even get up to the start of Resort, all based on where you spawn on Shoreline. So to start off, we're going to start at the collapsed tunnel spawn. So you could either spawn on the beach or by the ambulances. So if you get this spawn, what you want to do is head straight over to where it says estates. There is a pylon that's just out by itself next to the water, what you want to do is just follow the water a little bit and basically find a bush and sit. Where you want to be looking is towards the estates and the left side of the road, the way it kind of like goes down the hill a little bit. People will be coming at you from the left hand side, so people will be going from left to right side. So you only really want to camp this area for like the first initial start. Anywhere longer will just be a waste of your time. This next one, it is going to be the town spawn or just above the town spawn. What you want to do straight away is head straight towards the estate. You can see on the map where there's a little crook in the road where it goes up and then down past the estates. Where you want to be is at the very top of that bend. Once you're looking down towards where that pylon is, people are going to be heading from right to left. Now once again, you don't want to be here too long because this is just an initial spawn camp. And now for the final east side spawn. So this is actually the swamp spawn. What you want to do is follow the wall as far as you can go until you hit like this rock on your right hand side. Then you want to head straight towards a pylon that's directly in front of you. Now what you want to do is sit at that pylon or just continue on for a little bit. If you look across the way from you in the little valley that's there, there is a campsite on the opposite side. Now what a lot of people do, if they spawn at those first two spawns that I just showed you, what they like to do is go up to that ridge and just keep walking along that ridge. Now this is where it's your opportunity just to snipe them down. So I wanted to just show you two quick locations that are just a nice little camp spots. So this one is just above the bus depot. There is quite a bit of traffic, surprisingly, that comes through bus depot. So if you just sit above these rocks, if you get in the right position, you can actually see the right hand side of the bus depot as well. People were trying to avoid it and kind of like follow the road up. So the next juicy spot we call the lookout. So there's this concrete platform just above where the river starts. What you can do is lie down there. You can see people coming up from the west side and the east side where the bus depot is, and also down by the power station, which is a very powerful spot to be looking at as well. So people doing their scav quests, you've got a very powerful position to snipe them from. So for now, for the west side, you got the rock passage spawn. This is one of the closest spawns that you can get to the resort. So you could either play it two ways, be the first one into resort and control it, or what you can do is head down to the crack shack. The crack shack sits on top of a hill. There is a bush on that hill that you can kind of lie in and wiggle yourself into correctly. What you can do is you can spawn peek all the people who spawned on the proper west side of the map, who are moving from left to right hand side if you got a decent scope. So for the next spawn, it is actually along the wall near the crack shack. So once again, you have got one of the closest spawns to resort. So you can either run up to resort, or what you can do is still head towards resort. You can parkour your way up these hills. Now there is a ledge that you can lie down on. So when you lie down in this position, you have got a pretty juicy field of view in front of you. You can see all the people who spawned at Road to Customs, a radio tower, the weather station, all those locations, and if they want to run to resort, they will be running towards you. So this is kind of for a dual spawn. So this is for Road to Customs and Roadblock. Bear in mind, people can spawn in both locations in the same game. What you really want to do is head to Radio Tower. This is a very powerful spot on this map. If you spawn at Roadblock, you can head to the UAV drone, but the Radio Tower is got such high elevation, you can snipe people from that location. But like I said, if you spawn at Roadblock and someone spawned at Road to Customs, they will beat you there, but it's also a PvP encounter that you're actually looking for. So the next spawn is Stone Arch and out in the field. The best place for you to go is the Stone Arch or the weather station. So you can lie down on top of the Stone Arch. You can basically get 180 degrees field of view if people spawn down at the crane, at Roadblock, at Road to Customs, and even people at the radio tower. If you get in a decent spot on the arch, you can see everything and everyone before they even get a chance to see you. Now if you go to a weather station, there is kind of a few big rocks that you can sit behind. It's not as good as the arch, but the arch is a very known location, so people do actually look for you. But if you go to the weather station, there's a few little spots that you can see. You are kind of limited to the giant rock in front of you, but it's still a pretty decent location. So the final spawn location is the crane. Now you kind of get shafted if you spawn in this spot. There is 3 ways that you can go. Now if you go to the left, the weather station, what you can do is, this is like this little ridge that you can run up. You have to run before you get to it. You kind of like can run your way up between the 2 giant rocks either side, get on top of the weather station, and then get to where I showed in that last clip. The next one is, if you go hard right, go past CCP temporary and go past roadblock. What you can do is basically flank people who spawned at roadblock and road to customs. And then finally you got the big balls Barry one. This is where you just go straight for it, go straight to the drone and just annihilate every single person. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this guide useful, and I'll see you in the next video.